church of Ely in 1546 to entertain his servants. It was constructed around a cherry tree, and it's where Elizabeth I had secret trysts with her lover Sir Christopher Hatton before she gave him the land now known as Hatton Garden. Hatton was a bit of a celebrity landowner back in those days, thanks in part to sponsoring Sir Francis Drake's round-the-world voyage. After his death and following the Great Fire of London in the 1660s, Hatton's family began building houses on what was then still known as Hatton Street. It would only be renamed Hatton Garden 200 years later. But crime has always been in the heart and soul of Hatton Garden. On a Sunday evening in December 1678, a Hatton Garden-based carpenter called Wharton opened his front door to 6 armed men. They said they were looking for Catholics, but when he asked to see their warrant, one of them said there was no time to show him, as the traitors might escape. After searching every room in the house, the gang of men declared, "It was money we came for, and money we will have." Then they opened Wharton's front door to about half a score of their accomplices and warned the household there was no point making any fuss because others in the gang were outside watching the streets. Wharton and his family were locked in a room while the thieves ripped through the house. The gang eventually made off with his daughter's rings, valued at £100, and 380 ounces of plate. The following Tuesday, a woman offered to sell a considerable parcel of plate to a Hatton Garden trader and took him to a house in nearby Shoe Lane. But the trader had informed the authorities, who raided the house, arrested 5 men, and found the stolen plate in the cellar. The thieves were dispatched to Newgate Prison, where one managed to escape dressed in woman's clothes, despite being weighed down with 60-pound irons. The others were executed at Tyburn Gate. Late in the 18th century, a Bedfordshire labourer called William Smith, just over 5 feet tall with grey eyes and a fresh complexion, according to the criminal register, was tried for a singular and daring robbery committed on a banker's clerk in Hatton Garden. By this time, robberies in the area were so commonplace that the police virtually gave up patrolling the streets. In November 1881, the Hatton Garden post office was robbed of a mailbag containing registered letters and packets, including a large consignment of diamonds destined for the continent. The value of goods stolen was estimated at £80,000, which is more than £60 million in today's currency. At the end of the 19th century, De Beers chose to sell all its diamonds through Hatton Garden, creating a culture of related trades that persists to this day. As a result, it attracted a tight-knit community of Hasidic Jews, who were the master craftsmen able to produce a wide range of jewellery. Then in 1913 came the Hatton Garden pearl robbery. It set the scene for a century of hard-hitting crimes, high-profile thefts of large sums and valuables that required detailed planning and a team to carry them out. On this occasion, the target was the most famous necklace of pearls in the world, valued by Lloyds at £150,000. It had been sent from Paris to a Hatton Garden trader called Max Mayer, but when he opened the registered package, he found it contained 11 sugar lumps. The mastermind of this cunning plot was diamond merchant Joseph Cammy Grizzard, who was caught after a sting operation and given 7 years penal servitude. Shorter sentences in those days, but harder regimes. Until the Second World War, business in Hatton Garden was often conducted on the street or in one of several local kosher cafes. Prices were usually agreed with a handshake and a cry of "Mazel!" It wasn't until after the war that a plethora of jewellery shops opened in Hatton Garden, shifting the business away from manufacturing for the wholesale market towards the retail trade, especially for engagement and wedding rings. In all, at least 300 separate companies and 60 shops, many of them run by Orthodox Jews, emerged by the 1950s. Back then, Hatton Garden's reputation was built around its dealers in precious stones, which were nearly always diamonds. So not surprisingly, security became of paramount importance to all local traders. At the start of holidays such as Easter and Passover, many of those with workshops and offices perched above the jewellers that lined